Hello, welcome to Lex Talk. My name is Prince Madejemu Alex. Today on Lex Talk, we are going to be looking at strategy for school growth and management. The most important aspect of education is its ability to expand and grow, and that ability lies in the management, the school management, and the kind of people that surround the environment. So today I have a consultant with me. He's an educational consultant. He is the CEO, Bright Path Education Consultancy Services. His name is Ipe. Today we are going to be exploring how actually, what are the strategies that will actually help you start from the scratch. Let's assume that you have the intention of starting a school. What are the strategies you need to put in place? And if you already have a school, what are the strategies you are going to use to expand, to grow that institution, or to grow that your business as it might be? So Aaron, you are very welcome to the program.
Yes, thank you so much.
You are very, very welcome.
Thank you so
you
much,
are a
Mr.
consultant. You are the CEO
Sure.
of Bright Path Education Consultancy Services. But first of all, let's look at if I am I have the vision of starting a school.
Okay.
So what are the things should I look at for?
Well, to start a school, I could say it's beyond trying to raise money of every other business.
I'm a businessman. I want to raise money.
Yes, but it has to do with something with passion.
Okay.
You know, because it's passion that actually sustains the business. You know, the passion sustains the business also sustains the passion. So,
okay, the growth on both sides.
Yes, they go side by side for a professional school that has to stand the test of time. So you have to look at both sides. Yes.
Well, okay, now let's look at strategies.
Okay.
First of all, let's look at strategy, because actually we're looking at a strategy for school growth and management.
Yes.
So, like I have asked, I have the money, I have the passion to start the
Yes.
school. Passion is not enough.
Okay.
So what are the strategies?
Okay. All right. For a school to start up, there's what we call school mapping, school planting, and all of that. You need to get a site, and then get a good site. A site is very important in the location of school. It has to do, though with the advent of technology now, it's very easy for you to bridge the gap. But some people have the vision to meet a particular set of people, a particular class of people. So with that, you can say that a location now can be factored in. For instance, you remember when the focus of the government was on the Almajiris.
Okay.
They had to take the school to the northern aspect side of the country. Now, same also, we as individual, as business people, some is religious interest, some is economic interest. So you have to cite the location that has to do with your interest. Now, in doing that, you also have to, like, okay, plan. You have to plan the financial budget, the accessories that is necessary, the structure to, you know, accommodate the school, and then the human factor too.
Because I actually want to come back to that human factor.
The human factor.
Because no matter how the structure you put in place, because
Yes.
actually I want us to talk excessively on that human factor. No matter the structure you put in place, no matter how passionate you are, human factor will determine how successful you're going to be.
Exactly.
Particularly the kind of caliber of people you are recruiting. So as a new school manager or as a new school proprietor or proprietress, I have put everything in place. Okay? I have the building, I have everything, the government registration and everything in place.
Yes.
Then now what is left is for me to recruit staff, because they are needed. They are the vehicle that will drive performance. So what should I look at for particularly?
Okay, beautiful. You know, for, like you rightly said, the staff is like the engine. The engine cannot move without the oil. So you need the oil to roll the engines, and then you need the driver on the seat to turn the steering and then accelerate the car. So also it's the management. Now, having gotten all the building, the structure, the conducive environment. Yes, and then the harm-free environment, is safe place for learning. Then the next thing is the recruitment, and in doing that, you have to look at your administrative personnel first. who are the people who should, you know, who will manage the rest. So your front desk admin, your administrator, your school head, your principal, the head of schools, those names, they are the key drivers of the school. So the success and the failure of any academic institution is tied to the innovations and the attitude and the you know, the management of those people. So in recruiting, you need people who have one experience, people who are also in touch with the trends, educational trends, people who understand children and student psychology, you know, people who can take decisions and you know the implications of those decisions, know the ripple effect of those decisions. You know, those are the kind of people you look out for. And then most especially people who have good communication, how do I call it? English, or good communication skill rather. You know, people who are sociable, people who can interact and mix with the
But
with
all
the
these
students.
things, you might not be able to know them on the process of interview, because
Yes.
at the point of interview, everybody put up his best. Everybody wants to tell you they're the best. Everybody want to.
Of course.
Everybody want to. Okay,
Of
now
course.
a guest was here, sitting down here. I think last week or something like that. We talked about the mental health of people who work in the school environment.
Yes.
And she made she make a very huge explanation why we should make it very important, because people who these are the people who interact with these children, and these
Yes.
children are vulnerable.
Exactly.
They do nothing. And now let's cope it up with okay, let's marry it up with
Okay, good.
the process of you recruiting, because
Okay.
you talk about the attitude, sociable, and all the rest.
Exactly.
Of it. How will you not be able to skim them out
Okay,
and be
good.
able to bring out, because you have
Thousands of people. For instance,
yeah.
yes, you have people sending in applications, you have people putting show up, dressed, looking nice. But one thing is that as an experienced recruiter or an experienced person in that field, you use what I call human psychology as well. Aside the psychology, you need to go through their resume. And then you also, most importantly, look at their work experience and also pull out contact. You need to make some verification.
Okay,
You
about
need
the
to
claims.
find out, yes, about those claims that they are presenting to you. So for a serious school, you can't just, okay, let's take them because the need is pressing. You need to see what experience, what has it, especially with the advent of social media, it has made us, you know,
yeah.
we can easily assess your profile and see what you have been doing and what you have not been doing.
But some people,
You know.
because if you go to some people's what they call it, the social media,
Yes.
who they are in real life is different. What they post on live on social media is
It's
different.
different, okay.
Some people will tell you, "I'm just here catching groove." So
Yes, but in that case, you make your recruitment based on your judgment
Okay.
and some of the indicators you have put, you know, like I said, communication, experience and all of that. But the thing there is that it doesn't guarantee 100%.
yeah,
So we must accept that okay, these people you have eventually given written tests, you see their written, their oral and all of those expressions, you need to check, okay, I'm going to recruit you, but you place them on probation. So for those who you want to
Okay.
place on probation, you observe them. And then there are those who are trainable. There are those who are adaptable. There are those who are teachable. There are those who are who eventually you watch out them. So that probatory period of probation gives you the period for you to observe. And at the end of the probatory period or probation period, you handle them maybe a questionnaire or like a kind of review their operations to see if you can keep them or not.
they made the standard.
Yes,
or not.
if they are meeting up with the
Let's look at
standards.
this culture.
Okay,
Every institution, every businesses have culture.
exactly.
So the culture, who does it come from? Is it the owner of the school,
Okay.
or the management, or the teachers themselves?
Yes.
Where does it come from? Because every business are known. Okay, if I should go to, okay, for instance, if I want to MTN, I know their culture.
Exactly.
Glow, I know their culture. Nine Mobile, I know their culture. Other businesses like that, I know their culture, because that is what gives them identity. That is where their operations are different from other. But school particularly, they have culture.
Exactly.
Where should it come from?
Okay, if you look at the school, every environment, work environment should have a culture. And like you rightly said, the school also must build a culture around it. And that culture stems from its vision and mission.
Okay.
So the vision and the mission of the school must be well articulated, engraved in most parts of the, the school
environment,
where both the staff, the teaching and non-teaching staff will observe, where the students will also have, like visual sight to those vision and mission that has been engraved, So those, unfortunately, we have schools who have these things, but the emphasis is not on them. So, but standard schools and those schools who have professionals consulting for them will actually ensure that those schools, everything that is taught is tailored towards the achieving those vision and mission of the school. So what you usually do is that apart from the academic, academic part of school, you have to look at the psychology, the psychomotor, the morals, we'll talk of the values. You want them to uphold some particular values and attributes. You have to create also the timetable and the curriculum to reflect on those things. For instance, there are some religious institutions who want to imbibe some religious attributes into their core curriculum. So what they simply do is to, create time and space. It could be in the morning, it could be at the end, it could be within the week, to drive those culture. And then sometimes you could review the curriculum and see where you can chip in those factors. It's something we do regularly. Look at when you are doing the curriculum scope and sequence, you want to revamp your curriculum at the end of the day. You look at where you can chip in those things. So it's not just academics, preparing them for maybe international exams, So those are some of the factors that can create a culture. And overall, the leadership attitude can influence the culture of the school.
Yeah, because I actually wanted to talk about the leadership attitude.
Yes.
I think I was talking to a proprietor, and that was one thing I observed about him particularly.
Okay.
He have no respect for his staffs. He have this attitude of I can fire you anytime and employ whatever I want to employ. And because of my interest in that school,
okay.
I think I called him to a corner and I was trying to explain to him. I said, look, it will cost you nothing for you to, because these people will follow you when they think they have a stake. Most importantly, not how much you're paying them. If they think they have a stake, if they think, they feel
part of
the system,
yes.
There's a sense of ownership. I think they will perform better. Let's mesh that one to being given the sense of ownership or not being given the sense of ownership, and how it affects the teacher's attitude.
In fact, that's a very salient point to note. Sometimes we have overbearing people in the management, people who just see their ego as paramount in decision making. They feel they can hire and fire. But there are lots of disadvantages to that. Before you could hire in the educational sector or fire, rather, you should be able to train. It's just that because you have the will to fire, so you just wake up one day and feel because someone offended. There are people who are not good in certain area, but they are good in other areas. So you as the leader or the management or the proprietor or proprietress or the principal head of that school should be able to identify the strengths and weaknesses of your staff and harness the best of them. Not taking things too personal. And then if you are transparent enough, you should be able to create a culture that people can look and say, okay, you are worthy of emulation. And then aside that also, it's important for the management to look at creating a kind of culture where everybody's inclusive, not a divide and rule,
game
way of school management, where you have some on your best.
We're talking about politics now.
Yes,
we're talking about office politics
yes,
now,
yes.
Where the management just decide to favor you because they like you or because you play to their you're from their both of you are from the same tribe or from the same religious body or from whatever. Okay, as we round up, because I've actually have very few time choosing. Now, what is your advice to both parents or teachers and the school manager? Hello, welcome back. So, Ero, as we were saying,
Okay.
we're talking about school culture.
Yes.
The attitude, or we'll talk about where it comes from. Now, let's look at the politics.
Okay. Within
The school system, because actually we're talking about. I think the last time what we said was that the attitude of the owner of the school, how he is able or she is able to make everybody have this sense of belonging. And most of them have this attitude: I can fire you, I can hire you, I can do whatever I want to do to you. It is at my own discretion, as if the staffs are at their own mercy. But it has actually make most of these staff put up a very poor attitude towards discharging their duties. So
yes. So you know, like I was saying, that it's very important that we put personal interest, ego, sentiments, all of those things aside when it comes to an educational system. So what we need the most is professionalism, looking at ethics. That's why we have things like school policy, we have a school handbook, you know, we have rules and regulation, we have order. You know, a school that does not have those things is left at the mercy of the owners or the managers to wake up and sporadically do whatever they want to do.
If they don't like your face as a staff, you're going.
They can, you know, subject everything to manipulation just to, you know, to their own interest.
Just to,
for their own benefit.
For their own benefits.
So, you see, that act of professionalism is very important. By setting rules, standards, by making sure everybody within the academic system understand the rules of operation, what should be and what shouldn't be. And, you know, even from the side of parents too, you know, you need to also understand those policies so that as managers, you are not just telling the parents, this is what I want, or this is what I feel like, or even your staff, I don't want you, you are this, you're that. You're rather pointing all of them to the school policy. In our policy says
those policies, how often can they be reviewed? Because how often can it be reviewed?
Now it should be reviewed, I'll suggest termly or even mid-term. Before resumption, it should be reviewed. At the end of the school, within the new section, it can also be reviewed. If you review, the more you review them, the more you see, because as you're operating the school system, you see some lapses and some things that you need to update. So that update is very important annually, you know. So it's the review of the policy or making new policy or adding new policy can go a long way in creating a professional environment for the staff. So the staff are not left at the mercy of
whoever that
wake you
comes
and fire you. You know, there are schools where there are warning letters. You are called to give a query. You are called to like train you. You are under, you know, all of those things before you are being fired, so that you don't just throw away the baby with the water, you know, because like I earlier on said, there are people who have their good side, and it is the role of the management to look at the strength and harness the strength to the advantage of the,
now you're talking about psychology, because if I am working with you, I'm observing you.
Yes.
It depends on what I'm observing you for.
Okay.
If I am the proprietor, or okay, let's assume I'm the principal of the school.
Okay.
I'm observing you to find a fault, not observing you. Yeah, it happened in most of the work environment. I'm observing you to see where you have a fault, where I can actually nail you, because I'll be looking for opportunity. Then there are people who observe you for you to know, oh, these are your area of strength.
Yes.
And these are the capacity where I can, okay, you are not good in this particular area. Okay, let me move you to this area. Now, as a proprietor or as a school manager, or a school manager, what should you look out for from your staff? Because their performance largely lies on you.
Okay.
Because you are the one to pick, these are your strengths.
Yes.
These are your weaknesses.
Okay.
So let me major on your strength.
And your weakness.
And your weaknesses help you to manage your weaknesses.
Okay. Now, as a school manager, there are certain things you need to look out. That's why routine administering of how do you call it, questionnaires. It's very important.
Okay, the management should give the
yes,
teachers
you give the teachers and your staff questionnaires from time to time to feel.
Would
so
they be bold? Would they be honest enough? Because
yes, you structure the questionnaires is structured in such a way that you can elicit whatever information you want, and from you observing them, you actually know if they are honest enough, to fill in those questionnaires properly. So questionnaires is a tool that they can use to know if they're actually saying the truth or not. Yes.
Well, honestly, I wish you have more time to actually take up on
okay.
Okay, as I let you go now, just your final words to parents, teachers, and the school management.
Okay, let's start from the parents. Parents should actually look out for standard schools by making their investigation, by also putting pressure on the management to do the right thing. Then the teachers should also, be such that they are innovative, like trying to do the best that they can for the students and also for the school. Then overall, the management, that's where everything anchors on. Management should
leadership now.
Yes,
everything
rises
and
falls within leadership. So the management should be such that they should be transparent enough, they should be honest, avoid sentiments, avoid everything, and then hold on to professionalism.
Wow.
Yes.
Hello viewers, you've listened to this conversation. School environment is not just a normal business environment. We are giving back to generation. We are giving back. We are raising, we are training a generation. We are training human beings. It's not all about making profits at the detriment of those children that we were supposed to train. Most of the things he have highlighted, as my guests have highlighted, are achievable. I will urge you, actually, if you are a school owner or if you are a school manager, to listen to this this conversation again and again, so that you will be able to implement what the consultants have already pointed out. Until I come your way again, same time next week, my name remains Prince Alex Manager. But before I go, let me quickly wish you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance.